Now this is a very easy color change to do. It is a little bit angle sensitive, and by that I mean a lot of bit angle sensitive, which is why most people just use it for camera tricks. So still just easy to do, super fun. If you want to do it in more of a performance setting, I will still teach you that as well. So first you'll need to do a double lift, which is where you take 2 cards as one. My favorite is probably from the Russian Genius. So you're going to take it here, and you're going to put 2 fingers here in this bottom corner where the value and indice and pip is, and then your thumb is going to be in the back, okay? And all you're going to do is you're going to basically snap your fingers, which will pull your middle finger down underneath the card, and then that'll be here. So from the back angle, it'll be like this. You're going to be here, showing it to the spectator. You'll be pulling this card down. Now this card is behind, right? So you'll need to know your angles, because if you do this, that's very different than if you're doing this, or this, or this, or this. So depending on where your spectator is, make sure you know your angle well, that you can not flash, okay? Now to clean up after this first one, you're going to simply bring the deck up and then drop this back card down, okay? So you're here, you're gonna bring this up, drop it down. You can literally do flicker shot or whatever else you want to do with the second card, because now it is by itself, okay? So that is the first one. Now the second one is where you change 1 card into 2. Now personally, I like it doing it from an 8 of spades to 2 4 of spades. I just grabbed this one from a second deck. So you clearly have 3 cards here. You're going to place it like this with the 8 of spades in the front, and you're going to be doing the same thing. Now what will happen is, when you actually peel off this first one, it'll be basically smearing that. So and this one's in the back, you'll now have both 4s in the front. You can even take off this one, as long as you're making sure you're not just going like this, right? So as long as your angles are right, you can take this off and do this if you want to. Again, you come up with the deck, drop this down, and you're set. Have 2 cards here instead. Next you have the card to the smaller card. Now I found this deck right here actually at a gas station. You can find them on Amazon or just about anywhere else. Many decks are really not expensive at all. They're actually less expensive than a normal deck of bikes. So super easy to pick up. You're going to place it on the bottom right hand corner, the same corner you put your thumb on. So on this side it'd be here, okay? So I'm placing it here like this, and I'm going to do the snap change again, same thing. This one is going to be more angle sensitive, okay, because this time you have less of a surface area to cover up this back card. So make sure that when you're doing this one, you're probably going to want to snap it a little bit farther back instead of just having it right below. I bring it even further back, that I even have a little bit of a gap here as well, which I don't normally do, but when you have a small thing like this, it does make it a little bit easier when you're doing a snap change with a small object. Now speaking of small objects, we have the last card, and that one right here is, the last object is the coin. Now normally I probably wouldn't do that with a quarter. I'd use like a 50-cent piece, because quarters are minute. Now again, it's going to be the same placement, same corner of the card. When you're doing it, you're going to snap again, and you basically don't have anything on the quarter except for your thumb at this point. So as you're snapping, you're then going to grab it with your index finger and grab it here. Now because it is a quarter, your angle has to be pretty much perfect. You have from there to there, right? There's a very small window when doing this, okay? And even left and right is not very much, right? So using a quarter probably isn't your best bet. Use a 50-cent piece or something a little bit bigger. You can even do this to a dollar bill, so you can snap this, have a dollar bill behind it. And honestly, it's just a fun way to do vanishes. So if you just want to vanish it, so I've been trying to work on a way that I can just vanish it here and put it into a tenkai palm, which is the same move that when you're doing this, right? So still a fun move, but not quite sure how I want to do that yet. But that's just me having fun messing around with cards. So like a 1 card snap change, just like, that's just more just throwing it backwards. So I guess if you just want to pull a gag, you can pretend like if you're with a bunch of other magicians, you're going to tell them you're going to do the snap change, and then just like throw it behind you or whatever. The other thing, never do it with 3 fingers or anything other than 2. So if you're going to do the snap change, and you're going to do it here, and you do it here, never do it with 3 fingers. 1, it just looks bulky, and 2, you look like a noob, okay? If you try and do this, it's way more obvious when you see 2 fingers leave. It's way more obvious to a spectator than if you see 1 finger leave, okay? right? Because it's just less of a commotion and there's less going on, which makes it more likely that you will actually fool somebody than if I do this and it looks clumpy and stupid, okay? Don't do that. Use only 2 fingers and you will be all set. So I do hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Please make sure to subscribe and ring the bell if you guys want to see tutorials just like this one every single Sunday. And I'll catch you guys next time. This is Card Perfect, signing off.